Have a good one. Sunday, June the 8th, 2024. We are in the lovely town of Woodhall Spa in Lincolnshire.
So today we're here to do the Woodhall Spa 10k.
This is a race we did 12 years ago. It was the last time I ever went under 35 minutes for 10k, so happy memories of this. It is a reasonably flat course, but today it's quite breezy, as you might see from the flags behind me. So just looking to enjoy taking part in this really well organised 10k in this lovely part of Lincolnshire. So no particular big goals in mind today, apart from to work hard, seek beauty, that's the wrong channel, apart from just to have a good solid run and enjoy the race. So seeing as it's the 8th of June and we're in an area heavily associated with RAF history, 2 days ago we commemorated the 80th anniversary of the start of the D-Day landings, and I'll tell you my own little Normandy landing story in a minute.
So here we have the start area behind me, well a bit further down the road, and as you can see there is lots of time zones right the way through to sub 35.
So we stand here on the 8th of June 2024. Let's roll back to the 8th of June 1944. My own father went over to Normandy as part of the 2nd Light Field Ambulance Royal Army Medical Corps, obviously 2 days after D-Day, where the bridgehead had been established. First thing he did on leaving his landing craft was to drop his pack into the water, into the English Channel. So his introduction to the liberation of Northern Europe was to be scrabbling around in the sea looking for his pack. I know that because I've got all the letters he wrote during the war. So quite a chilled atmosphere before this race. There was plenty of parking in Woodhall Spa and we're able to get to the start in good time. It's a race of several hundred people, I think about 770 finishers on this occasion. The obligatory trainer check at the start line to see what everybody's wearing around us, see if anybody's got any new shoes that just come onto the market, and then walk to the start line. 3, 2, 1. And we're off on the Woodhall Spa 10k. So you can just see 2 pennies invested in front of me. The chap striding off into the distance is Rob. So Rob's been running for years and years, nearly 40 I think, but the other year he had a really bad leg injury. He broke his leg actually towards the end of a race. He had to have surgery and it's been a long, slow comeback for him. But I've helped him a part of that, writing plans for him to help motivate him and get him through races like this. So as I said, for me, no particular target, but I have noted that my coachee is in front of me, so I wouldn't mind going past him at some point. So this put up on the screen now, the 10Ks that I have done recently since I've been on a comeback. I had hoped perhaps to be somewhere around the 41 minute mark. You can see myself here just coming up to Rob's shoulder and then just passing him. So to get the 41 minute mark, I need to be running about 4 minutes and 12 the first kilometre. So let's see if I'm anywhere near that at the minute. So 4:11 puts me just inside 42 minutes. Not worried at the minute. I'm thinking perhaps I might be able to match that Telford time from last December. As you can see, the course has narrowed a little bit now. It is a little bit tricky overtaking, but everybody's running at quite a consistent pace, so there isn't a particular problem with getting congestion. There are a few gentle bends on this course. You can see one coming up now, but there are no tight turns and it really does flow nicely. And if you're in form and feeling fresh, there's no reason you can't run a pretty fast time at the Woodhall Spa 10k. 4:13 for the 2nd kilometre, again around that 41-42 minute mark I'm on pace for. The field is widened out a bit now and you can see there's plenty of room to pass, or is actually happening, plenty of room for people to pass me. Now my legs are starting to feel a little bit heavy at this point. I know I can have a solid decent run, another 4:11 there, 170 heart rate. I will be able to execute a decent training run, but I know I'm not on tip-top freshness today, so perhaps somewhere around the 42 minute mark might be more realistic. On to kilometre 4, a little bit quicker there, 4:09, but still maintaining 170 heart rate, and that is good and consistent. But what I'm finding is I'm not able to go up through the gears. I've been doing quite a lot of glute work in order to provide further strength to improve my running form. So I was a little bit tired here, not so tired that I was going to have a terrible run, but not so fresh that I was going to be absolutely tip-top form and run a super fast time. We can see there halfway 21:06, 4:20 kilometre there. I would be on at this pace for 42:12 altogether. You can see the field has thinned out a little bit, but one point about this course, even though it's in the countryside, you can see it's sheltered by hedges. So though I mentioned it was going to be breezy at the start, actually for most of the course we hardly felt any wind at all. So 4:17 for the previous kilometre there, slowing a little bit, perhaps thinking even a sub 42 won't be on the cards. Still more hedges to keep us sheltered from the wind, and knowing that it's not going to be my greatest racing day ever, but still enjoying a good solid effort. But mindful as I am slowing that Rob, who I mentioned earlier, might be coming up behind me, but more about that later. So yeah, trying to maintain good form, trying to keep my head high here, trying to practice some of the tips I've been given about improving running form and running economy. So moving on, and we've got a few less hedges here, actually I should say fewer hedges here to be grammatically correct, but there's no real wind, there's nothing to stop people executing a good race today. Next kilometre split, ooh, that's the slowest of the race for me. The heart rate's gone up a little bit, 172. 4:25 for a kilometre, so I believe I am slowing a bit. There's no particular climbs here, no particular reason to be slowing, apart from the fact I'm fatiguing. And at the end, I'll take you through not just the heart rate and pace splits, I'll take you through the power splits I've got from the Coros watch I'm wearing, because that shows an interesting pattern that as the pace slows, so does the power output slow, and I'm not able to maintain the consistent pace I normally do across a 10k. 8 kilometres there, picked up a little bit, heart rate's gone up to 174, 4:15 pace, so yeah, hoping for a strongish finish to this 10k. We can see we're going to come up to bend now. There's a lady runner here looking really smooth coming past me. Now at this bend, you'll see, I'll look around in a minute and I can actually see Rob coming up. He must only be about 10-15 seconds behind there, so that gives me something to work towards in the last couple of kilometres. So the field's well spaced out here as we come on the country lanes back towards Woodhall Spa. 4:13, I've definitely picked it up there. The heart rate's gone up by 3. The pace is improving as I'm determined to hold Rob off. There's nothing like competing against your own club mates and friends, eh? I think that does motivate quite a lot of runners. Does that motivate you? Trying to beat a friend, somebody you get on really well with? Let me know in the comments below. So we're just coming back into Woodhall Spa now. At this point the camera ran out, so my 10th kilometre was 4:04, quickest of the race, 181 heart rate. You can see I really am quite keen to beat Rob. Thanks to Louth Athletics Club for this finish line footage. I cross the line in 42:18. Good solid day at the office. Rob comes in just about 20 seconds behind, you can see him there, and here we have Dawn, 44:27, and congratulations to her on finishing first female vet 60 in the race.
So in this clip you can see me showing my phone to the race organiser.
Yeah, so a little bit of an odd prize giving. They gave prizes out to the first 3 male and females, and then for all the veterans categories you had to show on your phone, because the results came out instantly, that you were in fact first in your category, and then you got called up as Dawn is here to receive her prize for first female 60 in the race. So just a couple of hours after finishing the Woodhall Spa 10k and a few reflections on the race. So we have a winner.
Yay! Yes, first female 60 and in a time of 44:27, so a bit slower than my last 10k, but a different course.
Yeah, for myself, reasonably pleased with the outing, 42:18. So I've been working quite a lot on my glutes over the last few days, having seen a running technique specialist, and more about that coming up on the channel soon. It was a good solid outing, but if I put my splits up on the screen, you'll see that in terms of the power metric, as I mentioned during the video, I was fading slightly at miles 4 and 5, which is unlike me in a 10k, but good solid training run, lovely race, really nice course. It was sheltered from the wind mostly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hedges around, so...
Yeah. Miles 4 to 5, I think we were running into the wind, so you did feel it there a little bit. Yeah.
But all in all, lovely morning out at the Woodhall Spa 10k in Lincolnshire. I keep saying that I'm not one for medal bling, but yet another example that I'm really pleased with is the Woodhall Spa 10k medal. So you can see it there. Evocative, it has a Lancaster bomber on there. The area around Woodhall Spa, I think 617 Squadron, the Dam Busters were based around there, so really nice, particularly in the week where we've commemorated the D-Day landings. So coming up soon on the channel, plenty more shorter distance races as we work through our summer of speed. I think you've got a 3000, a 1500 and an 800 on the track. I've got various track races coming up next week at a track and field meeting for Barnsley AC, and then I've got the Barnsley 10k, you've got the Great North 10k, and you are revisiting 5,000 metres on a track.
I am, and I've got a 1 mile race as well.
Oh yes, 1 mile. Hyde Park Harriers mile at Woodhall Mall in Leeds.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm not so sure.
So if you want to see how we get on in all these races and what progress we make, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you've liked our visit to Woodhall Spa 10k today, please give this video a like. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.